Today I'm underneath a Mazda 5 minivan. It has a 2.3 liter 4-cylinder engine. And I'm hopefully going to show you a little bit better explanation of this oil cooler repair. On this car, it actually has a regular style spin-on filter. So I've already removed that so we can get a better look at what's going on here. And this is the bottom of your oil cooler assembly here. Okay, so we got a little more light now. Two hoses attached to this fixture here. You can see the bolts better. There's one above that sending unit, well, I'm assuming that is. And then there's two bolts on this side. So what we have here is your two pipes actually attach right on this side. This is one of the hoses, and this is the other hose. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably disconnect this one here because I can reach that one, pull it out of the way. And then I'll disconnect this one here because I can reach this one. Disconnect this electrical connector, those 4 bolts I already showed you, and the whole thing should come off and I can work on it. Okay, so here's the whole unit out of the car. You can get a better look at it here. This bolt I found challenging because of how close this is here, so I used a wrench on that. This other upper bolt I also found somewhat challenging just because it's so deep. I used an extension, again an extension and a 10mm to get all the way down in there. 4 bolts there. Again, those were 10mm. I've already loosened this a little bit, that's why it's moving. But this top bolt is a 16mm, and that comes off next. So that actually holds on the cooling portion of this unit, because that other portion is just the filter mount. So we'll get this pulled out, and now we can see the actual problem. Okay, so this is the original gasket here. It's so dry and brittle. I'll actually probably have to dig that out with a screwdriver to get that out properly. And then this is the replacement gasket. Right, this is still rubbery, it's pliable, it will provide a good seal. Oh, I just found a little, there we go. So over here there's a tiny little ear. We can use that to get that thing out. Yep, very brittle, very hard. Nothing really left in terms of sealing properties at all. So that's exactly why the oil leaks out of these things. And like I said, I know that I've seen this video before from other folks, but I didn't think it did a very good job explaining it. So that's what it actually looks like. So basically, the next step here is I'm going to clean this up completely with some paper towels, probably some solvent to make sure there's no oil or grease or residue left over at all. And then the next step I'll take is this will get installed. The new one will get installed in the correct orientation. I don't think it has an upside and a downside, but it does have these ears. Right, the ears are in these locations. So I want to make sure that the ears line up. That would be how you orient it. And then we can reassemble it with the 16mm bolt we just took off. And from the looks of things, this little ear here will line up, or should line up for us. But that'll be the orientation anyway, so it has to be put back together the same way we took it apart. So just remember your orientation. I don't think that's correct. Let me see here. So that was on the car. This would have been the right way. Okay, so that little ear back there, there is a hole back there for that. So we'll make sure that gets put back in there. A little slot. Okay. Okay, so here you can get an idea how I clean up the surfaces. They're quite clean now. I use a combination of a little bit of rubbing alcohol, some paper towels, a little sandpaper for the harder stuff. I even used a wire brush, die grinder to clean also. Be careful, you don't want to take away too much material, but you want to make sure that there's no grime. And then I hit it with alcohol again one last time to make sure that there was no actual grease or anything else like that. You can use other things like brake clean, and so on. Just make sure you don't spill a lot inside here where it would stay there, because you don't really want that in your oil. But whatever you use, make sure it comes back off. And then the next step, of course, now is placing this new gasket on there. Now this has a ring in the middle, okay, which kind of surprised me. You see this ring here that spins? That does not appear to be removable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on, and it doesn't seem to quite fit right, right? Like it sits on that ring. Okay, so I'm gonna make sure it's centered where it belongs, and I'm gonna take with a socket on top of the center here and just tap it in, and that should let that ring, which has teeth on it, grip in the center of this gasket. So we'll try that off camera because I only have two hands, and then hopefully that'll be the solution for that.